What's up everybody, my name is Kendra and welcome to Ray Yoga Videos. Today we have a yoga video designed to take care of our feet. Our feet carry us everywhere and it's very easy to neglect that area of our bodies. So whenever you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so let's start with our soles of the feet touching. Knees open up nice and wide. Allow there to be space between the heels and the front of the pelvis. If you feel like you need some support, you can always put blocks underneath the outsides of the knees, or you can put pillows if you don't have any blocks. Place the hands on to the feet or the ankles, whatever feels best. Grounding deeply into the sit bones. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Good. In this position, start to elongate the inhalation and exhalation. Ideally, inhaling and exhaling through the nose, maintaining this deep, full breath throughout the entire practice today. Take the hands onto the feet and begin to massage the feet. Start to show them some love. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Just start to feel the feet and whatever feels nice for you. I like to go on the arches of my feet. That tends to get a little bit sore. Perfect. Now, this might feel very weird if you've never done this before, because I remember the first time that I interlaced my toes with my other toes, it definitely felt a little odd. But it does also, once you get the hang of it, feel very nice because our feet are usually in shoes and they're always stuck together. It feels really nice to create space in between the toes. So go ahead and interlace your toes with the other one. So you take the big toe, place it in between the big toe and the second toe, and then second toe on the opposite foot goes on the other side, and so on until you go all the way down. And now you have to use, of course, your hands to help interlace the toes and do as best you can. You will find areas that are a little bit harder to interlace. Awesome. And once you have this as best as you can, release the fingers, keep the toes interlaced. Breathe deeply. Good. Take one more breath. Exhale, release the toes. Good. Take the hands on the outsides of the knees, bring the inner thighs together. Straighten the legs out in front of you. Now give the toes a wiggle. Circle the ankles. Perfect. Legs are straight. Move the flesh of the glutes away from the sitting bones. Inhale, nice long spine. Feet are flexed, all 10 toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Exhale, take the torso and lengthen it over the legs, pausing once you begin to feel a stretch in the calves and hamstrings. Working on inviting the belly button forward and the chest. Looking at your feet and notice the baby toe. A lot of the time when we're tight in the calves or hamstrings, the baby toe will want to point down towards the mat. So gently invite the baby toe back up towards the ceiling, if you're seeing that in your body. Inhale, carry the torso back through center. Bring most of your weight into the right glute. Bend the left knee, take the left heel back towards the left glute. The top of the left foot is grounded on the mat. Take the hands out behind you. Now scoop the pelvis under so you have a cat tilt in the pelvis. Perfect. Now you'll start to feel a stretch in the front of the quads. Shifting the weight towards the right glute. Carefully straighten the left leg back out in front of you. Move the weight towards the left glute. Bend the right knee. Take the right heel towards the right glute. As best you can, scooping the tailbone under. Keep grounding into the hands, maintaining a nice long spine. Maybe you're feeling a stretch in the right quad, even down towards the ankle and the foot. Moving the weight towards the left glute. That will help you straighten the right leg out in front of you. Come on to the hands and knees into your tabletop position. Knees are hip width apart, stacked underneath the hips. Grounding the palms onto the mat, stacked underneath the shoulders. Tuck your toes. Sit back onto the heels. Very slowly lengthen the torso all the way up. Crown of the head lifts up towards the ceiling. Make sure that the baby toe is tucked under as well. Breathing deeply. You might not be able to have the glutes on the heels, and that's completely fine. You can always stay like this with the glutes far away from the heels. So find your position, taking a couple deep full breaths. Notice any areas of the body that you might be tightening up. If this feels like you're feeling a lot of sensation in the feet right now, notice if you're doing that in your body and see if you can soften the other areas we don't need to be holding on to. Focus on taking 3 more breaths. Beautiful. Exhale, slowly come back onto the hands and knees. Untuck your toes. Pausing here before you make any movements. Feeling the release in the feet. Then go ahead and wiggle the toes. Move the legs to the left. Sit down onto your glutes. Carry the legs back out in front of you. And then very slowly come onto your back. When you get there, give the knees a hug in towards the chest. Inhale, extend both legs all the way up towards the ceiling. Ground the arms onto the mat, palms grounded on the mat. Begin to wiggle your toes once again. Pausing at center. Now press the heels up towards the ceiling. The legs are as straight as you can have them without hyperextending the knees. Looking at your feet, see if you can start to spread the toes, making space in between all the toes. Keep pressing up through the heels. And you may only be able to get one toe away from the other one. See if you can feel and make that mind-muscle connection of moving the toes, spreading them wide. Good. Exhale, release. Begin to bend the knees. Take the hands on the outer edges of the feet. Release the knees down towards the torso, keeping the soles of the feet facing the ceiling. If you can't grab the outer edges of the feet, feel free to take the backs of the calves or the backs of the knees. Soften the shoulders. Exhale, keep the knees bent. Slowly take the soles of the feet together. Knees open up wide. The hands are resting still on the outsides of the feet or the ankles. Drawing the heels towards the front of the pelvis. Exhale, release the arms, release the feet onto the mat. Knees are bent, feet grounded. Close the eyes. Soften your entire body onto the mat. Let go of any holding in the body. You can keep the knees bent, feet grounded on the mat if you feel like you need some extra support. Or feel free to release both legs all the way down onto the mat. Wherever you are, take this time for you and to rest. Nothing to do, nothing to see. Take as much time as you need here before you move on to your day or evening. Thank you for joining me.